From the clever design features on jerry cans, to the coloured markings on toothbrushes, here are 10 more everyday things you most likely don't know the purpose of.
Amazing!
Number 10. Chinese takeaway box plate. You may think the easiest way to eat from a Chinese takeaway box is to hold the box as close to your face as possible and scoop away with chopsticks. However, there is a more convenient way to eat from one of these boxes, as they actually fold out to make a plate. Once you know this, gone are the days of desperately trying to scrub sweet and sour sauce from your plate. Just simply throw it in the bin once you're finished. Number 9. Loose cap on the end of a measuring tape. The metal cap on the end of a measuring tape may seem as though it is loose and needs fixing, but this is actually part of the design of the product, something that even surprised us and was brought to our attention by viewers of a previous video, in which we spoke about why tape measures have a serrated edge on them. The cap is designed so you can measure using the tape flat against the surface or hooked around the end. The looseness to the cap allows enough movement so that either way you use it, the measurement you come up with is as accurate as possible. Number 8. The little spike on caps. These little spikes in the lids of some cosmetic products aren't just a weapon to use against your siblings, but also can be used for the purpose they were designed for, which is to pierce the protective foil at the end of the tube. With a simple press of the lid against this foil, you no longer have to worry about the fiddly task of ripping off the foil and can get on with using that new toothpaste you've been dying to try out. Number 7. Hole in pot and pan handles. You may already use the hole in the end of your pot and pans as a way to hang them up and free up some cupboard space, but that's not their only use. These holes also act as convenient spoon holders, so when you find yourself in between stirs of your cooking, you don't have to spend time cleaning up the mess you just made on the side anymore. Number 6. JERRYCAN handles. The JERRYCAN is a great invention for carrying petrol, but the fact that there are 3 handles on the top of it can be a bit confusing. However, the reason behind this is fairly logical. The middle handle is designed for when you're carrying it alone, to make sure the weight is evenly distributed across your hand and none of the petrol spills. If the weight of the petrol becomes too much though, and you wanted to call in backup, using the one handle could prove difficult. So the handles on either side of the JERRYCAN are there to evenly distribute the weight between you and your friend that's helping you. That is, if you're lucky enough to have a friend. Number 5. The JERRYCAN hole. The 3 handles aren't the only hidden feature of JERRYCANs, as there's even this screwable stopper situated behind the handle on some JERRYCANs, predominantly plastic ones, that serves another purpose you might not have thought of. This detail was envisioned by Finnish designer Eero Raslaki in 1970 and was quickly adopted by the Finnish Armed Forces. When the plug is removed, the hole, also known as a vent hole, allows a flow of air through the content of the JERRYCAN, so that when pouring the petrol out of the spout, there is no need to worry about glugging and splashing petrol. It's a feature you'll also often see on a variety of smaller fuel tanks. One thing is to be said for sure though, and that is that you shouldn't try to pour the petrol from one of these holes, as that's going to be much messier than any can, whether it glugs or not. Number 4. CEDAR coat hangers. In a world where plastic and metal dominates the majority of products we buy, you'd think there wouldn't be much of a market for wooden coat hangers. However, cedar wood contains natural oils that repel insects such as moths much better than plastic or wire hangers. That's why many coat hangers are often made from cedar wood. Additionally, you can even buy blocks of cedar wood to hang in your wardrobe to keep the moths away. Do be aware, however, that these oils will eventually dry up, so it is suggested that using cedar in forms that don't come into direct contact with your clothes, such as a cedar closet, are a more effective way to repel the moths. Number 3. Ring pull hole. Contrary to popular belief, the ring pull of cans offers much more than just something to throw in your friend's drink. The round hole inside the ring pull is actually a convenient straw holder. Most straws are much longer than cans, and therefore would fall out of the can, especially as the gas bubbles rise. However, with the use of the straw holder, the straw is secured in place, leaving you able to slurp away in peace. Number 2. Blue toothbrush bristles. You'd be forgiven for thinking that the blue patches on your toothbrush bristles are an indicator for where you should smear your toothpaste, especially if adverts are anything to go by, because in reality, these blue bristles are there to indicate when it's time for you to change your toothbrush or toothbrush head. Once the colour of your bristles has changed from blue and blends in with the others around it, it's time for you to change your toothbrush, or you might find yourself just rubbing bacteria around your mouth with flaccid, worn bristles. Number 1. Plastic cap inside bottle lid. The plastic cap inside the lid of fizzy drinks is something that may go unnoticed by most, and those that do notice it almost definitely don't know the purpose of it. This plastic layer is called a liner and acts as a membrane that makes them airtight, thereby keeping the fizz in your drinks so that you don't have to suffer the traumatic first world problem that is flat Coke. So that concludes this video. Did you find out something new? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you want to find out more hidden design quirks of everyday things, then click the videos on screen now.